You know what you're listening to?
Next question.
It's Dan Patrick On Demand. Thank you.
Okay, keep your eyes closed.
Okay.
I want to show you my first ever painting.
All right.
Okay. Open your eyes.
Oh, that's a lot of colors and shapes.
So be honest. What do you think?
Well, I like how if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds of dollars on car insurance.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Here, why don't I hold your paintbrush while you call them?
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
Here he is, joined by the four Danettes. It's Dan Patrick.
Final hour on this Thursday. Dan and the Danettes, Dan Patrick Show. Spent a lot of time talking about the Dodgers, Astros, even next year. Dodgers are the favorites, according to Las Vegas. Dodgers have a great year. If you're a Dodger fan, do you feel like it was a great season? Say good morning to our radio and TV partners, DirecTV, the Audience Network, Channel 239, the NBC Sports Network. Twitter handle at DP Show. Phone number 877-3DP Show. All right, McLovin, poll question so far from the first 2 hours.
Okay, first 2 hours was which team you want to see win next of the team through the drought, and it was the Eagles edge the Browns. But I switched it up to the controversial topic of the day because we were getting so many emails about it. Are you okay with Carlos Correa asking his girlfriend to marry him last night? 72% say yes.
All right, I'm glad they're in love. I would have had a different day to do it because women like to have a separate day, more days to celebrate.
But it's funny, the Twitter response, a lot of males agree with you. Most of our female audience disagrees with you.
Oh, I thought the women would be on my side here.
Wow. No, they think it's romantic.
Oh, so in this big moment, you're going to share your big moment and you're going to get engaged.
I guess so. Seaton made the good argument that you're putting that woman, that's what's on your mind after a moment like that, then she must be really important.
Okay. I would have thought that I give you another day to, you'll have your anniversary, the day we got engaged, and then you have the day we won the World Series.
But these people believe in love as a concept, What
if he asked her pregame? He had that much confidence in his team.
Now, that would have been more impressive.
Calling your shot.
Just say, when we win, I'm going to get down on one knee and I'm going to propose to you.
What if he said, if we win today, we're going to get engaged, and then he had the worst game of his career? That would be really awkward.
What if they had a bad game, but they won? He had a bad game, but they won. What if they lost? Was he still going to get engaged? See, now, does she ask that? I'm going to guess.
You got to expect no on that answer, that he wasn't going to go through with it. Definitely not during an interview.
Okay. All right. If you want to go with that, McLovin, I thought the women would be on my side because I understand them.
Quick question. Did you guys consult your now wives before buying the ring? Did you get their input?
I did, and we went to the Diamond District in New York City. And
together, you took a walk?
Yeah. And you know how scary that place can be.
Terrifying.
I actually got in one of these stores, and the guy locked the door behind me. And he owned the place. He ran the place. And he said, you're not getting out until you buy a ring.
It's like the movie Snatch or something.
And I said, open the door. Open the door. And it was a really small place. I said, open the door. Open the door. And my girlfriend at the time said, open the door. He's serious.
Shopping turned into kidnapping.
So they let me. I went outside and got some fresh air. And I said, leave the door open. And he said, okay, I was just trying to give you some privacy. I said, well, then close the door and don't lock it. And then we went in. And she saw a ring that was an antique ring. And I just took note of it. All right, great. Now let's go. I said, I'm going to go get that ring. I told her that I went and it was sold. So she didn't know that the ring she eventually got, she thought it had been sold. Yeah, Paul.
Was it an antique ring with modern day prices?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
How much percentage of your savings?
I didn't buy into that at all. I literally didn't. Because at the time, what was I making? I think I was making 27 large.
Right.
Yeah.
If I would have used 3 months of my salary to buy my wife the ring, I would have got her like a Happy Meal. I was making nothing. But I cleaned it out.
But isn't you buy one, or is it 3 months?
3 months salary.
3 months salary. Now, is that 3 months gross or net?
Okay, so let's say you're making $27K.
Yeah.
Your paychecks are probably $1,000 each. So $5,000 to $6,000 would be 3 months' salary.
I didn't spend that. I didn't spend that amount of money. I think I spent $2,500 at the most.
What year?
This was 31 years ago. Yes, Eden.
My wife's engagement ring is a family ring, so I just paid to get it cleaned.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Which I don't know. Sometimes I feel bad about that, but at the same time, it's okay because at the time we had no money whatsoever. And like she had, just found herself out of work and like all of these things are happening and we're like, oh yeah, let's get married now. This is great timing. Yeah, so the family came through huge on that one.
Huge. McLovin, did you pony up cash?
No, I bought her a fake ring first, and then we bought it together.
Oh, so you were being a jokester?
No, like a placeholder. I bought her a ring that was amethyst, which was her birthstone. I said, this is just a placeholder until you pick out the ring you want.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't like, hey, it wasn't like a spider.
Cubic zirconia.
Fritzy, did you pony up big cash?
I was in the same situation as Seton, family heirloom type thing, so I was able to.
You guys got off easy, man.
Super easy.
Got off easy.
Yeah. That was always my wife's joke. Is she was just like, "Wait, I came with a house, a dog, and an engagement ring." Yep.
You lucked out, man.
Yeah.
No wonder you married her.
True story.
Yeah, no wonder. A couple other things. We got the Bills and the Jets coming up tonight, which all of a sudden turned into something really interesting because the Bills at 5-2, the Jets aren't pushovers. Is there any report on when Josh Gordon is going to be able to actually suit up for the Browns? Because he got reinstated. And we went back to look at that season he had when he was 22, and he was unbelievable. And he didn't have great quarterbacks throwing it to him, but now he's been reinstated for the Browns. The Cavs are now 3-5. I'm glad I got my apology about the Indiana Pacers not getting enough in the Paul George deal. I'm glad I issued that yesterday because the Pacers roughed up the Cavs last night. The Cavs are 3-5. I know you don't want to have them panic. You did lose Kyrie Irving. You don't have Isaiah Thomas there. But this is 3 straight losses by 15 points or more. That's only the second time in LeBron's career his team has lost 3 in a row and that he's played in, and they've lost by 15 points or more.
Stat of the day.
A little late on that, Steve.
Stat of the day, stat of the day. Here comes that what? Stat of the day. Stop.
Stat of the day brought to you by Continental Tire, proud supporter of the Dan Patrick Show. Cavs off to their worst start since 2013-2014. That's the season before LeBron came back home. You know, you still look at the East and who's going to stand out in the East where you go, they got to worry about them. You just sort of want to survive till you get to after Christmas. And then Isaiah Thomas comes back. Are you going to be healthy? They got to catch lightning in a bottle here. This is a one and done. Can we all stay healthy? And LeBron has actually put up some pretty good numbers. I know that turnover-wise, he's had some big turnover numbers here, but that might just be because he's trying to do too much because nobody else has really stepped up here. But LeBron James and company, 3-5. They've lost 3 in a row by 15 points or more. A couple other things. Yes, Paulie.
Josh Gordon is conditionally reinstated. He's eligible to practice on November 20th, and then he could be on the roster, 53-man roster, on November 27th. Then he could play some football.
Did we find out if the World Series better? Let it all ride last night, $14 million. The guy who he won every bet in the World Series, then he was going to let it ride.
We don't know his name. He's a young man. They said he's European. He was up $14 million and did not bet. He tapped out before Game 7. And we don't know who he would have bet on. I'm still looking for that.
Well, I'm not concerned who he would have bet on.
It would have been nice if he would have posted who he would have bet on before he tapped out and before first pitch.
That's why when Floyd Mayweather tells you he wins, I'm going to guess he doesn't win all of his bets, but he only tells you when he wins. Look, having gambled before, everybody tells you when they had the right side. Hey, yep, I had the Astros last night. They never tell you that they when they have their bad beats there. But that guy won $14 million. He was just letting everything ride. Here's another thing. The Vegas odds for the number 1 pick, overall pick, Saquon Barkley Number 2 is Sam Darnold. Number 3 is Josh Rosen. Minka Fitzpatrick, Mason Rudolph, Josh Allen. Man, I can't see Sam Darnold or Josh Rosen being up that high.
Is that 4 quarterbacks in the top 6 picks they predict?
Yeah, everybody but Barkley, right?
And we're saying this is a down year for the quarterbacks are not high picks. They have 4 of the first 6.
I can't. Okay, how many quarterbacks do you think are taken in the top 10?
Can you give me top 15?
I give you 2. No, top 10, 2.5.
I'll take 3. I'll take over.
You'll take the over. Anybody want a piece of that?
Oh, I'm with Paulie. I take the over.
Okay.
Wait, can you give us 12 like last year?
No, 10.
3 and 10. I'll take 3 and 10.
You will.
Just because of demand, not because of quality.
Yeah, I don't know.
It reminds me of the year with Christian Ponder when everyone went really late, really high.
I'll do a shower of shame. I'll take the under.
So you say 2 or fewer in the top 10 picks of the draft.
Quarterbacks. Anybody want a piece of shower of shame?
There haven't been more than 2 quarterbacks in the top 10. When's that the last time that happened? That's one thing. Mm-hmm. I think the odds are good for you, but I'll still take it. I'll take that.
You'll do a shower of shame?
Yeah. I'll go 3 because of demand.
Okay.
But usually there's 2, 1 and 2, and then they take a break.
Okay. Anybody else want a piece of that?
I assume Paulie was in here. He started this train. Where did he go? Where'd you bail on me right there?
Enjoy it, big boy.
He just left you. Yeah. The train just pulled away.
That's funny.
Yeah. The plane is on the tarmac there, dude. Sorry.
It's like when Big Ernie McCracken lets Munson.
Yeah.
I was watching that last night. He lets Will, what do you call it?
Woody Harrelson.
Hey, I got to get out of here. He takes off and leaves Woody Harrelson to lose his hand.
Yeah, McLovin.
What do you think of Saquon number 1? I mean, that'd be shocking. A running back number 1, but he is the prospect.
You're the Cleveland Browns if you're on the clock. Even the Niners have Carlos Hyde.
Yeah.
But
they don't like Hyde. They
were trying to trade him.
Yeah, they don't. They might not even keep playing him.
Yeah.
Giants. Everyone says Giants and Saquon, which would be 5.
When we come back, I'm looking at the Heisman Trophy odds, and one of the guys I really like is not in the top. How many names do we have here, McLovin? Is that 30 names?
At least. How can you guy not be on this list? I gave you everybody.
He's not on the list. I'll tell you who he is when we come back. Jeez. More of your phone calls. By the way, Julian Edelman in studio tomorrow in the Man Cave in New York. He's got a new book out. Tom Hanks' son, Colin Hanks, is joining us. Mm-hmm. Yes, Paulie.
Is his book like Eat Kale and stuff like that? Like Brady's about crushing beers and talking to chicks?
I think it's just how he was brought up and how tough his dad was on him. Moments where Belichick says to him, hey, you're at the crossroads, dude. I mean, you've got to get your act together here if you want to be a receiver in the NFL. Yeah, Fritzy.
It's called Relentless. He also talks about battling, his height and a lot of people questioning his abilities because he wasn't as tall as some of the other players and proving them wrong.
Yeah. Well, you come in as a quarterback, and then they're going to make you a wide receiver, and then he comes in, there's Randy Moss and Wes Welker, and he's got to figure out, do I even fit in the NFL? So he'll join us. Rich Eisen is going to be in town. Richie Rich will join us on the program. So we'll be busy in New York tomorrow. All right, 19 after the hour, more of your phone calls coming up here. Dan Patrick Show.
Everybody's got a to-do list. I get one from my wife, drop off the dry cleaning, pick up some milk, figure out something to get out of the house so I can relax. Here's an idea. Let's save hundreds of dollars on car insurance. The good thing, you don't have to drop off or pick up anything. All you have to do is go to geico.com, and in 15 minutes, you could be saving 15% or more on car insurance. Do you like extra money in your pocket? Do you like not having to drive somewhere to pick something up? This is the way to do it. It just may be the most rewarding thing on your to-do list today. That's geico.com.
Okay, Kevin, for the grand prize of $1 million, what color is the White House?
I know this.
5 seconds.
Oh, switching to Geico could save you a bunch of money on car insurance?
Okay. Judges? That's true, Kevin. They'll allow it. Congratulations. You're a winner.
Woo! Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
All right, I'm looking at the Heisman Trophy odds here. Saquon Barkley is your big favorite, followed by J.T. Barrett at Ohio State, Bryce Love at Stanford, Baker Mayfield Jr. III at 8-1, Josh Adams, Notre Dame running back. Lamar Jackson, 25-1. Mason Rudolph, Oklahoma State, 30-1. Jalen Hurts, Alabama, at 60-1. Then a couple of guys at 100-1, including Sam Darnold, J.K. Dobbins at Ohio State, and Brandon Wimbush at Notre Dame, their quarterback. All of those guys at 100-1. I went through the entire list, and there's probably 30 names here. Mike White at Western Kentucky is on this list. Kyler Murray at Oklahoma. Chris Evans at Michigan. They're all on this list. The guy who's not on this list, who I really like, plays at University of Arizona. Khalil Tate. This guy's fun. He's the quarterback who rushed for 327 yards, I think, in his first start. I think on like 14 carries, something crazy like that. But he's had some big wins. I think they're ranked 15th or 16th in the country. Might be 7-2. He's not even on here.
He's put up monster numbers, but on non-nationally televised games all season.
Yeah, and this goes back to the Pac-12 not getting any national exposure. And Rick Neuheisel, former UCLA head coach, talked about this, that you don't get to see the Pac-12 teams. You'll see USC, but after that, it's basically everybody else in the country. You're not seeing that conference. Yeah, Fritzy.
Speaking of Rick Neuheisel in the Pac-12, I saw a story that he might be interested in joining Oregon State.
Yeah, well, he wants to coach again, and he's too smart to not coach again. I'd love to see Neuheisel get another job, but yeah, I really like Khalil Tate. I think it's a great story, and I'm surprised that he's not on that list. Didn't make the top 30 because he deserves to be there. Yeah, Paul.
Saquon Barkley he's the front runner, but he's got to face like Maryland and Rutgers at noon, and there's got a lot of games that don't really matter that he could pile up stats, but people aren't going to watch. J.T. Barrett, the quarterback, Ohio State, he has the next 5 weeks. Iowa, national TV. Michigan State, national TV. Illinois, then Michigan on national TV, then the Big 10 title game if they get there. He has 5 games where he kind of controls his own destiny. He could take that award away. And he was people in Columbus wanted him benched 6 weeks ago.
I said that Arizona was ranked. They're 6-2, but I don't know if they're ranked. So if you can check that, McLovin. Because usually if your team's ranked and you're playing quarterback at a high level, then you should at least be one of the top 30 Heisman candidates, I would think.
I think this list is closer to 50. I was actually just counting it.
Was there really? I mean, he's fun, man. He really is. But, it's one of those, if you don't make the highlights, people on the East Coast are not tracking down Rich Rodriguez in Arizona. Yeah, Paulie.
Josh Adams of Notre Dame has Miami, national TV, which is going to get a big audience. Yeah. They have Navy, again, of course, national TV, and then Stanford against Bryce Love to end the season. So he's got a shot if he puts up 2,000.
Well, there's a formula here. A marquee player, marquee position, and you get to play on national TV. And what do you do late in the season on national TV? Timing is everything in winning this Heisman. But I said at the start of the season, we'd already seen what Lamar Jackson can do. He had no chance of winning. Well, very small chance of winning the Heisman again in back-to-back seasons. He's great, but we've already seen it. Saquon Barkley has been great. He didn't have a great game against Ohio State. He did have one great moment. That's to start the game. But he didn't, Ohio State did a pretty good job on him. But these next couple of games, they're not going to be nationally televised as far as marquee games. They're not playing at night with, Herbie and Fowler calling the game. And that helps too. Over the holidays, Thanksgiving, having a big game, that helps too. And I like that J.T. Barrett has had this comeback because, I thought last year that going in that he would be, the guy to beat for the Heisman Trophy. Yeah, Paul.
Saquon Barkley has only 800 rushing yards, only compared to Josh Adams of Notre Dame, but he's got the all-purpose stuff. Receiving, ton of catches and yards, return yards. He's got some moments.
Check and see my guy, Khalil Tate, how many yards rushing he has compared to Saquon Barkley. Because I'll bet it's pretty close, and Tate didn't even start the season at quarterback.
Khalil Tate, the sophomore quarterback, has 100 yards more rushing this year than running back Saquon Barkley. He has 69 carries for 926 yards. He's averaging 13.4 yards a carry.
That's good. That's pretty good, right?
And that's without he would be he'd be the best running back in the country stat-wise, and he also plays quarterback.
Yeah. And didn't start the season. He came in relief in week 2, I think? Yeah. I don't know. It's a nice little story, and sometimes those guys don't get noticed, and that's what I wanted to do, at least to have him get noticed. Who does he play? It's Arizona against USC.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I'm talking a big game here for this kid.
He can make you look good this weekend.
Yeah, I know. Is it at USC?
Sure is. 10:45 p.m. Eastern.
I'll be watching.
Let's do it.
I'll be watching. Joe in Chicago joins us. Hi, Joe. What do you have for me today?
Hey, Dan, 6'1", 295. So, hey, I was in Vegas last year on the night the Cubs won the World Series. I'm from Chicago, and I'm a diehard White Sox fan, and I was just really upset, so I wandered down to the sports book. Now, I have the World Series magazine of the Astros from 2014, and I was just looking at the odds, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to take them. And I went, they were 21-1 odds. And out of spite of the Cubs winning the World Series, I put 100 on the Astros, and I ended up winning just over $2,100.
Nice. Can you take? Do you have your betting slip? Can you take a picture of your betting slip and send it to us?
I will. I do have it. I have it in a plastic thing that I saved. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and do that. I'll send it to one of the guys on Twitter, and then my 2020 World Series pick, of course, Chicago White Sox. Yohan Moncada. Yep, they're bringing them up. Abreu, we got the young guys in the minors pitching. We'll see. That's my professional opinion.
All right. Well, thank you, Joe. As a professional bettor. Yeah, the White Sox, I think they were tanking too. You get rid of Sale. You can. There's like 5 or 6 teams that are doing this, and not all 5 or 6 are going to be successful here. All rise for the Premier League mornings on Sunday at 9:15. It'll be the perennial powers clashing. League leaders Manchester City takes on Arsenal.
Whoa.
How about that? But then it's Chelsea against Manchester United.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Premier League mornings are on NBC. I said. All right, we'll come back. Final half hour here. More of your phone calls. Dan Patrick Show.
Support for the Dan Patrick Show comes from our friends at Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. They understand that a home plays a big role in your life and family. That's why they created Rocket Mortgage. Rocket Mortgage gives you the confidence you need when it comes to buying a home or refinancing your existing home loan. It's simple, allowing you to fully understand all the details and be confident you're getting the right mortgage for you. Whether you're looking to buy your first home or your 10th, refinance, whatever you want to do, they've got all the options. With Rocket Mortgage, you get transparent online processes that give you confidence to make informed decisions. It's convenient. Our trusted partners allow you to share your financial information with Rocket Mortgage at the touch of a button. In addition, to get real mortgage approval in minutes, find out all your options, 30 or 15, floating arms, all those big words. You can even adjust the rate and length of your loan in real time to make sure you're getting the right solution for you. Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Apply simply, understand fully, mortgage confidently. To get started, go to rocketmortgage.com/Dan. Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030. rocketmortgage.com/Dan. Did you know that if you signed up for football season tickets in Green Bay, you'd be on the waiting list for 30 years? Or Pittsburgh, the only city where all major sports teams share the same color? Here's another thing you might not know, something that's actually really helpful. TrueCar also helps people get used cars. I'm a big used car buyer. Just picked up a 05 Subaru Forester. It's awesome. TrueCar isn't just for new cars. Their certified dealer network also has the inventory of over 7,000 pre-owned cars nationwide. So whether you buy a used car or you get real pricing on actual inventory, better buying experience through TrueCar's certified dealer network, there's another fun fact. TrueCar customers can see if they're getting a good price or a great price before buying. They're also more likely to enjoy the buying process when they connect to a TrueCar certified dealer. You know what you get, you trust what you got. So when you're ready to buy a used car or a new car, visit TrueCar to enjoy a better buying experience. I went there. I was looking all over for a Subaru 05 Forester, the LL Bean edition seating, and it's awesome. Get it now. Check out TrueCar.com. Some features not available in all states. Go to TrueCar.com today. TrueCar.com.
Okay, Kevin, for the grand prize of $1 million, what color is the White House?
I know this.
5 seconds.
Oh, switching to Geico could save you a bunch of money on car insurance?
Okay. Judges? That's true, Kevin. They'll allow it. Congratulations. You're a winner.
Woo! Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
I have a little ADD occasionally. So Paulie's job, part of his job description is to remember what I said as we go to the commercial break. So Paulie just said, what did you tease before we went to commercial break? And I went, I have no idea.
We started talking about beer and lasagna. Slate and I were looking at a lasagna picture.
Yeah.
You got kind of lost.
I don't remember what I was talking about prior to. I do have some email here. It's from Mitch, longtime Michigan Wolverines fan. I'm traveling from Portland to the Big House for my first ever Michigan game. I will not know anybody, but would love to join in on the tailgating experience. Maybe the expert Paulie has some advice. Thanks, Mitch.
Michigan home game?
Yeah.
Seton and I went to a Michigan home game a bunch of years ago.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, and it's a very spread out tailgate, and it's vast. When you say Seton? Yeah. There's a lot of places to go. As always with a tailgate, expect a lot of traffic to park.
I went to a Penn State game, and that tailgating, there was all these fields. Like, it was massive. And you're just, unless you have a GPS that says this is where we'll be, I don't know how they do that.
Most colleges, if you go on their website, they'll give you a game day map of where to park, where you can't park, where to buy tickets in advance to get in. I would take public transportation to get to the tailgate because it's tougher to get home, but to get in there.
Would they tailgate on campus at USC, like RVs that are actually on the campus?
Same with Auburn. Auburn, the entire campus becomes a tailgate.
That was fun when we went there. When Cam was still at Auburn?
Auburn, Georgia. It was when Cam was suspended and they weren't sure if he was going to play or not, and he came out of the locker room and got the whole crowd going nuts.
That was great atmosphere.
Beautiful campus.
Weather was great. This is from CJ. Wouldn't the Niners be concerned if they don't play Jimmy G that he may leave as a free agent at the end of the year? Isn't he in the last year of his contract? If you trade for me and don't let me play, I'm bouncing. Yeah, this is only one article that said that maybe they don't play him this year, but I want him to play. I want him to enjoy the experience, although you might say then don't play him in San Francisco. But, Kyle Shanahan's going to get his hands on him and then say, look, this is what we're doing. And as a quarterback, all you want to know, it's like Jared Goff. You finally got an offensive-minded head coach in there, knows what he's doing with quarterbacks. Man, that frees you up. And I think that Garoppolo coming from the Patriots to then go in there with Kyle Shanahan with his ability to call plays, I would want to get him playing right away. Let's see. Colin in Iowa joins us. Hey, Colin.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, bud.
6'2", 215, tight ankles. As far as the poll question, I don't condone a public proposal because if she wants to say no, it kind of really puts everybody in a tough spot, and it's uncomfortable for everybody. And then, kind of question for Fritzy. So what an awesome engagement proposal after a World Series win. I'm assuming you had a huge ring. Would that be considered a rock-off?
Oh, wow. Wow.
Nicely done.
Yeah, you got roughed up early with Fans versus Fritzy mock headlines.
You did.
Yeah, that's pretty good by Colin. Tom in Tennessee. Hi, Tom.
Hey, Dan, 5'10", 210. Yeah, I wanted to weigh in on the poll from last night. I think you just really need to celebrate that win with your team, maybe save it up for the trip afterward. I know they're about to go on vacation. One more quick thing, though.
Yeah.
Getting married tomorrow, and you could help me out with my vows. Yeah.
Wow.
So should I drop a passion bucket? Is there any other suggestions you should help me out with my vows
I
tomorrow?
would say no, Tom. Unless she's if she was a fan of the show, then you could slip something in the vows. But if she's not, I just don't want. Yeah, Fritzy.
Can you say something, or is this too creepy? When we go on the honeymoon, there's going to be a wheel of punishment waiting for you.
No,
Can't do that.
No, you can't do that.
But it works in the show.
See, sorry about that, Tom.
Sausage off.
Yeah. So I wouldn't throw anything in there reference wise unless you videotape it and you think you could slip it in there. Then we'll put it on the air.
It's all about content.
Tom, we're wishing you the best of luck. What do you have to bring up a wheel of punishment here?
They could have some fun with that. It's something show-related and something exciting they could look forward to on their honeymoon.
No.
Put all kinds of wild things on the wheel.
No?
I'd be all for that.
God, I don't know what is in your head. I don't.
You got to keep it exciting and new. That's a very important thing to pass along to newlyweds.
Yeah.
If it ain't new, it's through.
I have no idea what's going on in
That's
there.
essentially reciting the Love Boat theme right now.
Exciting and come aboard.
Yes, Paulie.
Did you guys have video cameras at your wedding? Did people videotape it? Have you ever watched it? People videotaped it. I don't think I've ever watched it.
I don't remember. I've seen pictures. I don't know if there was video. I don't know. I know that we were on one of those yachts that goes around Manhattan, and it's 3 hours.
Your wedding?
No, the reception.
Reception.
Yeah, so it's 3 hours, and of course nobody can leave unless you jump overboard or get pushed. I remember that the staff on these yachts, and they've seen a lot of weddings, they were fascinated with what was going on. Because at one point, we had our cummerbunds around our faces like we were bandits, and we were sliding head first down the steps. So it was 2 floors.
So there's an open bar.
Oh, yeah. A guy got his nose broke. They were throwing me up in the air, and Eddie Arcis, I remember, poor Eddie, foot came down, broke his nose, blood all over the place, didn't care. We just kept going. It got to the point where my father-in-law said, hey, I'm thinking about keeping it out for another hour. And I said, you can't do it. Somebody will die. And I was serious. Somebody was going to die. And we got off the boat. I remember we changed clothes, and we went to the Terminal Bar on 57th Street.
That's kind of divey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, my wife said, hey, I'd like to go to, they had a jukebox there. I remember we were doing shots.
Tux, wedding dress?
No. We had changed.
Okay.
And then we met a couple of people there. And I remember we were doing shots at the terminal. Who goes to the Terminal Bar? Like, doesn't it sound like a place where you don't want to go? Don't you end your marriage there? Where are you going? Terminal Bar. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah, I remember. And Gary Miller, sportscaster. Gary was trying to get my wife drunk and, feeding her shots. So I thought it was going to be funny if she, passed out or something. Yeah, just a little scrapbook there. It's all a little emotional moment, in case anybody cares. All right. By the way, never underestimate the power of a Subway sandwich. There's something special about the best of the world's toppings slipped into fresh bread. Check it out. Friday, November 3rd. We're going to be in New York, and we're very excited to be part of this. It's a great event, thanks to Subway. Live feed event. And the artist who's going to be there, the musician who's going to be there with us, is a big-time guy. Is that Andy Grammer?
Yeah, my kid's going crazy about this.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good-looking guy. Do you think he's excited that we're going? Do you think he had to Google us when they said, hey, you're going to be with Dan Patrick and the Danettes? Do you think he goes, who?
I think even non-sports people know your name.
Subway's live feed event, and we'll be there. We'll tell you where we'll be tomorrow on the show. Great way, easy way to give back. Your community gets the food they need. You get the food you love. So stop in any Subway restaurant tomorrow. 30-ounce drink, get 1 sub free, and do some good. Friday at Subway. For more information, visit SubwayLiveFeed.com. Yes, Fritzy?
You might say Andy Grammer is going to punctuate the afternoon with the Subway team.
Oh, crap.
No. Grammar. Punctuate.
Yeah. I got a question mark.
You know what? You saved me there. Even though you were dissing me, you saved it.
And with you, it would be a semicolon. All right, we'll take a break here. We'll come back, close up shop right after this Dan Patrick Show.
Hey, listeners, just wanted to take a minute to thank all our great sponsors and all of you great listeners for supporting this podcast. We certainly couldn't do it without either of you. And I wanted to remind you that you can support our sponsors by going to our show page at podcast1.com, clicking on the Support This Podcast button, and there you will see all our wonderful sponsors that help make this show possible. Thank you for downloading, subscribing, and of course, supporting. And now, back to the show.
Stay tuned for 60 seconds of AP News headlines right after this podcast.
Coming up tomorrow in New York City, Julian Edelman of the Patriots stops by. Got a new book out. Final results of the poll question, McLovin.
Are you okay with Carlos Correa asking his girlfriend to marry him after the game? 74% are okay with that.
All right. I'm in the minority there. Thought I was speaking for all the women out there. Apparently not. Did you see this article where they have released files of Osama bin Laden? And not all of the files, everything that he had on his computer. And there were a variety of things on there, movies that he had downloaded. But there was one thing that was on there that I took note of. Seton, would you play that? This is what Osama bin Laden had on his computer.
Charlie. Charlie bit me. Ah.
Sticking his finger back in his mouth.
Ah. Oh. Ouch. Ouch. Ouch, Charlie. Ouch. Charlie, that really hurt.
That's the best video.
So, he was downloading all this stuff, and then he downloaded that too.
That's got to be 10 years ago, because I remember we were in the attic playing that video and cracking up.
What were some of the movies that he downloaded?
Like Ants or something like that?
Yeah, the animated movie Ants.
Office Space.
No, I don't think he did Office
I made
Space.
that up. Good movie.
Oh, but they didn't release everything. But there was a lot of stuff on there, and like, okay, of all the things they're going to download for this knucklehead. All right, last call for phone calls. We did the final results of the poll question. Let me see. Anything else that I missed here today, Paul? That show went quickly.
Are we set for dinner tonight? We got a lot of mixed reports.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're
we're
good.
in.
I think we're locked in. Fritzy's even showing up.
I already checked out the menu. I got a couple of ideas what direction I'm going in.
Yeah, that's good. McLovin, no go tonight?
No go.
Okay.
Family man, unlike some people in this room.
Wow. Wow. I saw this story that Jalil Okafor, remember the former Dookie, was with the 76ers. What was he, the third pick overall?
Yep.
He wants to be traded. And the problem is, I don't know if anybody's going to trade for Jalil Okafor. There was rumors, was it last year, that maybe the Celtics were going to trade for him? They're trying to see what they can get for him. They'd like to get a second-round pick or a couple of second-round picks, apparently a league source told ESPN. Man, that's a bust. Bordering on a bust, right? Yeah, Paul.
I remember watching that draft, and when the Knicks got the fourth pick and got Kristaps, they're like, wow, the Knicks got shut out of Karl Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell, who didn't stick, who's playing well now, and Jalil Okafor. Everyone's like, they got stuck with Kristaps. They could have had Okafor, who was considered a sure thing on offense.
If Porzingis had played in the United States one year, would he have gone higher? Because I think there were teams, and from what I was told, the Lakers didn't know about his toughness. Can you imagine Porzingis on the Lakers now? And you're trying to get free agents to come in there? That'd be a good reason to come in there with Porzingis, who's played great. But there's talk that maybe the Suns would be interested in trading Eric Bledsoe, who doesn't want to be in Phoenix. Yeah, Fritzy.
So that would be a mistrust of the process by Okafor wanting out?
Yeah, I know the Astros won.
He's a little clouded. He's clouded.
Yeah.
A mistrust of the process. He doesn't trust it. He wants out. He wants to go to another team.
I'm going to give you a hall pass today. All right?
Because it's Astros Day.
Yeah. Now, you had a big win last night, and that's what we should be celebrating. Big win by you. A great local story that was written USA Today. It talked about the Houston area. Like, this is similar to the Saints with Hurricane Katrina, with what happened with Hurricane Harvey in Houston. And you forget, we saw the pictures, but when the numbers come out, 82 deaths in that area. There were trillions of gallons of rain, and the estimated damage is $200 billion in Houston. The Astros, who were on the road when the hurricane made landfall in August, played a 3-game series in Tampa before returning to Minute Maid Park September 2nd, 8 days after Harvey struck. So to be able to do what they did, that alone, winning a championship, but to do it and for that city, some pretty cool stuff there. Also, a lot of people looking back on the decision to go with Hugh Darvish instead of Clayton Kershaw. I just think you're being unfair with this. You know, I know Kershaw pitched well, but he came in down 5-0 and had nothing to lose. There was no pressure on him. Hugh Darvish, with the day's rest that he needed, and he's an all-star pitcher, you know, it's the LA Times said Darvish did the unimaginable and inexcusable following one historically atrocious start with another, the second coming Wednesday night in a 5-1 defeat to the Houston Astros. Clayton Kershaw pitched 4 innings in relief, raising questions about why he didn't get the start instead. This is Dylan Hernandez, who covers the Dodgers. Is that right, Fritzy?
Yeah, L.A. Times.
Yeah, L.A. Times. This became a subject of conversation only because Darvish didn't do what he was supposed to do. This wasn't about manager Dave Roberts or the front office not to think outside the box and bring back Kershaw on 2 days rest. This was about Darvish not showing up on baseball's greatest stage, plain and simple. Yeah, we got that. But you can't sit there and go, should have started Kershaw because he pitched well. What if Kershaw didn't pitch well in relief last night? Yeah, Paul.
Darvish's stat line, 0 for 2, 2 starts, three innings pitched, 3.1 innings, ERA of 21.6.
Has anybody had this kind of World Series
We're
before?
checking. Has a starter ever made 2 or more starts and had an ERA over 20? It's probably a short list. We're looking.
Yeah. Shocking numbers. And never looked comfortable out there. But, the Astros, whether he was tipping his pitches or not, and that was the report that what happens sometimes with a pitcher is, when you have the ball in your glove, what kind of adjustments do you make when you're trying to grip it for whatever pitch you're throwing? And apparently he was tipping off his pitches, or at least one of his pitches. So they knew if he was doing one thing, that meant you were not going to get this pitch. Chances are you were going to get the pitch they were expecting. I used to put the ball in the glove, so I'd put it in there ready to be gripped. But it wasn't about tipping pitches. I just remember putting it in there so I didn't have to adjust it. But these guys, looked like he was digging in there a little bit, and then they knew what kind of pitch was coming last night. And they teed off on. I'm surprised they didn't crush him. Even worse, because his breaking balls were so flat. All right, what'd you learn today, Fritzy?
You think Carlos Correa should have proposed to his girlfriend on a different night other than last night?
Yeah. McLovin?
Ben Reiter gets all the glory, but poor Alan Shipnuck's Michelle Wee story didn't make the cover.
Paulie?
Ben Reiter went out on a limb and said the Yankees would win the World Series in 3 years.
Yeah, that's his big prediction. Seton O'Connor III.
Some people love, Dan, and I'm not sure you're one of them.
Yeah, but I really love like. What did I learn today, Fritzy?
Jimmy Garoppolo may see very little run in the coming weeks with San Francisco.
Well, I don't know that. I'm just saying that's what somebody suggested. At Farmers, they know a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two, like how to help you make sure you're ready for some of life's unexpected hazards. Stay ahead of the game with tips from a knowledgeable pro at farmers.com. We'll be in New York tomorrow. Among the guests, Julian Edelman from the Patriots. Thanks for joining us. Dan Patrick Show.
Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday to us. That's right, the Lady Aang podcast is turning 100. We have laughed, cried, giggled, unfiltered through 100 episodes, and we want you to join us for our 100th birthday extravaganza. We're looking back at all the best moments, the funniest moments, the best advice we got from our 100 guests, and we want you to join us. So come find us on Tuesday, and you can find us exclusively at podcastone.com or the new Podcast One app. And don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts so we can feel famous.
At Covered California, we're not just here to help you get health insurance. We're here to help you get it at a lower cost. 9 out of 10 enrollees qualified for financial help paying for their plan. You may qualify for savings even if you didn't last year. So check for yourself. Or let our experts help you find out how much you could save. Life can change in an instant. Be covered when it does. Covered California. It's more than just health care. It's life care. Visit coveredca.com today. Enroll by December 15th.
Daddy, where do babies come from?
Honey?
Mommy went to the store.
Oh, well, you see, there's a mommy and a daddy, right?
Right.
And see, when they call Geico, they could save a bunch of money on car insurance.
Oh, really? And that makes them happy?
Yes, that makes them very happy.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we could have this talk, Sunshine.
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.